The Jake Asman Show will begin shortly. Thanks to all these great Patreon members who help support the show. Get your super chats ready. Jake will be here in just a moment. If you love the New York Jets, this is the place to be. And now, the Jake Asman Show.
Jets fans need to hear what Kevin O'Connell said about the Jets and his old college roommate, Darren Mougey. We'll talk about that and much more. It's officially Gangrene Beach Club week, baby. Frankie Vitz going to join me to kick off Monday's programming. It's the Jake Asman Show. Let's hit it and get it started.
We sitting in here, we excited as hell.
Now it's time to get to work. Are you a happy guy?
Oh my goodness, let's go!
I haven't felt joy talking about the Jets in a long time. When they announced it, I went, yeah! Let's go! A new chapter for the Jets has started. Aaron Glenn and Darren Mougey are tasked with shaping the future of this franchise. Will they be the ones to finally get it right? We will be here for every step of the journey on the Jake Asman Show, breaking down all the storylines, every game, and everything in between. Please subscribe and hit the like button below. Super chats, baby. Cut the line. The Jake Asman Show starts right now.
Here we go, Jet fans. Welcome in, everybody. Hope you all had a fantastic 4th of July weekend. Make sure you like this video and you are subscribed to the channel. As always, we are presented by PrizePicks. This Saturday, that's right, 6 days away, even less than that, 5 days away, our first ever Gangrene Beach Club will be going down at HQ2 in Atlantic City. Wayne Corbett's going to be there. A bunch of your favorite Jet personalities are going to be there. You should be there as well. Tickets still available. If you click the link in the description for this video, or you see it there on the screen, you go to gangrenebeachclub.com. Plus, Knick fans, Larry Johnson is going to be there as well for all the Knick fans out there to hang out with, in addition to Wayne Corbett representing the New York Jets. With that, we say hello to a guy who will be there rocking a Speedo on Saturday from uSTADIUM and the New York Post. It's Tanky V. Frankie, how we feeling?
I'm ready for Saturday, baby. I got to lose like 5 pounds this week. I got to get shredded, even though I'm not ever going to be shredded. But, you know, I gotta lean out. It's like a UFC fight. But I'm pumped, man. I'm pumped. We're going to have a blast out there, man. And I like that you're not doing a show. That's great. We can just go, hang out, you know, drink some booze. Conor McGregor's fighting that night. Hopefully everyone's, you know, still, you know, got their stuff together for that, because that'll be, you know, he'll be fighting at midnight. But that's gonna be a fun day, man. I'm super pumped.
They got a great sports book there, so for those who are interested in watching the fight, you certainly will have a chance to see it. I'm pumped, man. Can't wait. I'm glad that you and the guys over at uSTADIUM are going to be a part of it. So we'll certainly talk more about it leading up to the event on the show later this week. I want to start with some interesting comments here that certainly, you know, caught my attention over the holiday weekend. Kevin O'Connell, he's lauding Darren Mougey. And at first, a lot of people, I think, were like, wait, why is Kevin O'Connell being asked questions about the Jets? And then you remember, well, KOC and Darren Mougey, they were college roommates at San Diego State. In fact, Kevin O'Connell beat out Darren Mougey to be the starting quarterback at San Diego State. So Mougey changed positions and became a wide receiver. But speaking to the media on Zoom ahead of golfing in the American Century Championship, O'Connell praised Mougey and the Jets for their, quote, well thought out plan, saying, I just think the plan that he's had has been really well thought out. It's one thing. A lot of teams put the time and energy into having as much good planning as you can, but it's about the execution of those plans. The way Darren has gone about it doesn't surprise me. He also added that he has spoken to Mougey multiple times throughout the offseason, often complimenting him for his moves. Most of the time, quote, I was complimenting him on whether it was a great draft they had or how they handled some of their internal situations there, getting their running back Breece Hall re-signed, he added. So think about it like this. Here's one of the better NFL coaches in the league, a young offensive guy who's had tremendous success, taking note and acknowledging that at least one member of the Jet organization seemingly understands and knows what he's doing. I know people around the league and my conversations have noticed what Darren Mougey has done to this point. Let's start with just the overall comments. Your thoughts on what KOC is saying about Mougey.
Listen, man, there's some real praise right there. And usually you don't have head coaches talking about GMs of other teams. I mean, that's not really a common thing, especially at length like he did. Typically, you might say one thing, you might say a few things, but he really dove in. There's definitely a relationship there. I'm sure privately they have a relationship. He sort of alluded to that a bit. This is something that's exciting for us. We need a coach like KOC eventually. I think we've been doing the same old song and dance with these defensive guys or these CEO types. I think KOC would be a breath of fresh air here. I think he'd allow the next quarterback to come in and have some real tutelage. Now, let's get into some context here. So the Vikings just got rid of their GM, Kwesi Mensah. He's gone. They have a new GM now, and they're looking like they could be in a transition year. JJ McCarthy's not hitting there. It appears they have Kyler Murray now over there. So it's going to be interesting to see really what their season looks like. If their season kind of goes down the drain, that ownership group, they're not going to do KOC any favors there, Jake. So now he's under contract, KOC. We have to understand that he's under contract, I think, for the next 4 years, I think up until the end of 2029. But remember what happened with Denver and what Denver did. Denver traded for Sean Payton. They gave up a first-round pick and a second-round pick. It's not crazy. The Jets having 3 first-rounders next year. If the Vikings go down the drain and that situation blows up, that the Jets don't turn around and give up, doesn't have to be a 2027 first-rounder, but I'm just saying, could be that the Jets say, hey, we're moving on from Glenn. This thing's not working. Let's give Minnesota the similar deal or the same deal that the Broncos gave the Saints for Peyton and make it happen. I mean, who out there wouldn't give up a first and a second rounder for KOC? I absolutely would. And I wouldn't even think about it. I'd give up a first rounder for sure. And I'd give up more. I wouldn't give up 2 first rounders, but I'd give up 1 and a second and some change. So there's a possibility here. There's a lot more mobility going on in the NFL than previously. I mean, the players are getting traded more often. We saw it here. We saw Sauce getting traded, Quinnen getting traded, coaches also with Sean Payton, having compensation for him. So there's something there. They're not going to break that contract, though. So if we're being realistic, it doesn't make any sense why they're going to break that contract and have to pay out 3 more years probably on that deal. But a trade's possible. The framework's there. The Vikings set up the framework. They're saying he's making 14 or 15 million a year. We'll see.
Well, the bottom line is this. If Kevin O'Connell were to be available, there'd be a ton of teams, I'm sure, that would swap their coach for him.
Oh, yeah.
Where the Jets have the edge is twofold. One, the relationship between the GM and the coach. KOC knowing Darren Mougey matters. KOC just won a power struggle with the guy who got fired in Minnesota. So he's going to be very selective on where he goes if he's available or he wants out, because he just went through a dysfunctional situation in Minnesota that he had to survive. And by the way, while dealing with all that, he still went 9-8 this past year with abysmal quarterback play. The year before, he resurrected Sam Darnold, 14-3. Look at his record, 13-4 and 22 with Cousins. He's never had an elite quarterback, and this guy has gone out there and has been able to still win, which I think is ultra impressive. So that's where I would start, the relationship that he has with Mougey. And there was a quote in the article that the Post ran where he said, I always pay attention to what the Jets are doing because as a former player, you always want to see your former teams do well. He's still paying attention to what the Jets are doing. I know for a fact from someone who told me this, he's got a strong relationship with the Johnson family. So they would be interested in this. So really, if Aaron Glenn can't figure it out, Kevin O'Connell, depending on what happens with the Vikings, I do think could be in play. And I don't know if it would take a first-round pick to get him or a second-round pick. But when you're the Jets and you have 3 1s this upcoming year, and you look at the team that you have, one of those picks is going to go to a quarterback. If you got yourself a bona fide stud offensive-minded coach to help oversee that development, that's worth at least a first-round pick if I really had to. Certainly a second-round pick at the bare minimum if it came down to it. So obviously, I hope Aaron Glenn proves me and many wrong and turns out to be a really good head coach, but he's not an offensive coach. KOC is. He's exactly the type of, prototypical coach you want for your young QB in 2026 and beyond. He'd be the perfect hire if the Jets actually were in position to get him. And depending on how things go, I wouldn't be shocked if Minnesota is around 500 this year with an injury-prone Kyler Murray and J.J. McCarthy and Carson Wentz. And it's just time for a change of scenery there, and then the Jets could swoop in and get KOC as their guy.
100%, man. And the one thing KOC has spoken about since he got into the NFL is his love for the quarterback position. Being a former quarterback, he wants to work with a quarterback that he can do a bunch of stuff with. He really can in Minnesota. His hands are tied now. He's got this J.J. McCarthy there that's not really working out. Kyler Murray's there now. Where are they going to be drafting? It's really attractive to say, hey, you're going to a team and you're going to have a young quarterback, one of the top guys in this draft, and there's a bunch of them, and you can work with that kid from day one.
Yeah, pick the guy you want.
Yeah, exactly. He really, I mean, the whole thing where that thing will blow up is when it's figured out what happened with J.J. McCarthy, because if J.J. McCarthy, who I think will end up starting at the end of the day there, he doesn't work out, heads are coming off there. The ownership's not going to like that they invested all this in JJ. They got rid of Sam Darnold. He just won a Super Bowl. It's kind of a bad look there all around. Now, it seems like the former GM, Mensa, was sort of the scapegoat in that whole thing, but there's been reports that have suggested that KOC was really the one who wanted JJ. Probably was a mutual or a collaborative decision there. But if it comes out that KOC did want JJ ends up playing, doesn't perform well, they insert Kyler Murray. He doesn't perform well either.
I think Murray's going to start. I don't think that there's a scenario where McCarthy's the week one starter if Murray's healthy.
I mean, I think it's a competition, Jake, but you drafted, what they draft JJ 11th overall or 10th? I forget. When you draft someone that high, though, Jake, you got to figure out whether you have something or not. Ownership, and that's an ownership thing. Why did you spend that high of a pick on a player that you're not playing? So they're going to have to figure out what they have in that kid. So you might be right. I think JJ is going to end up starting at the end of the day, and then they have a quick, pull on him, a short leash with him. Regardless, if that whole quarterback situation doesn't work out, it's on KOC. And those are conversations that, trust me, coaches, especially former quarterbacks, don't want to be having with ownership. So there's something there, man. There's something there. He has a liking towards the Jets, and he's been talking well about the Jets even before the Darren Mougey thing. I remember years ago listening to him, and he just seems to like New York. He liked his time here. So, hey, if there's something to be done, Woody Johnson better get on that phone and see if he can make something happen.
Look, at the end of the day, this is the type of coach you'd want. If not KOC, I do think someone offensive-minded should be the preference. I do think that if you can't get the offensive guy, you have to just consider a best overall coach with prior experience, because I'll continue to say it. This is not a job for first-timers. So whether that be Mike Tomlin or Sean McDermott, or let's say the Colts don't have a good year, they move on from Shane Steichen, I'd be interested in him.
Yep.
I think you have to really be smart with the type of hire you make. If you're Mougey, assuming you get a chance to make it because, you put yourself in position to build this team up. Now you got to get your hires right. But these comments to me are notable because, again, if KOC sees this, people around the league talk. And I think a lot of people do like the job that the Jets have done, kind of reshaping their roster and giving themselves, the ammunition to go and get their quarterback and then surround the quarterback with what they're going to need to be successful. So either way, even if they don't end up with KOC, or at least people around the league, as I've been saying and alluding to for months, people around the league are noticing the job that Darren Mougey is doing. So that's encouraging. Hit the like button if you're just joining us. Make sure you are subscribed to the channel. Today's giveaway is a big one. Garrett Wilson, signed football, up for grabs. A year ago this week, Garrett signed his extension with the New York Jets. We're paying homage to that from Fanatics. Here is a Garrett Wilson signed football. Enter for your chance to win. Gift a membership. Every membership you gift, that's how many raffle entries you have. Send a super chat, $10, the minimum there. We'll get you 2 raffle tickets. 20 will get you 4. 50 will get you 10. Or you could Zelle or Venmo me. Zelle Asman Jake at Gmail. Venmo Jake-Asman for your chance to enter. All right. So here's what I want to do. Since the schedule this week is going to be a little funky because of the holiday last week and because of my radio schedule this week, we're going to postpone the Asmaniac raffle till Friday morning this week. And because of that, I added a big-time prize to bridge the gap because we didn't do a raffle over the weekend because we were off for the holiday. Only the second time we've ever given one of these away. It is a custom-framed Breece Hall jersey display that is the new top prize in the raffle. V-Man won this at a listener party last year. Prize 2, Broadway Joe Namath signed football. Prize 3, signed Joe Klecko helmet. Prize number 4, it is a Wayne Corbett signed football. Prize number 5 is a Jets Legends jersey. And our final prize, 2 tickets to Gangrene Beach Club this upcoming Saturday. If you already purchased tickets and you win that prize, we'll refund your money and you'll get 2 tickets on us. With that, let's get to some other Jet-related topics. Tanky, you guys had a great interview with former Jet Kerry Rhodes on your guys' podcast the other day. Kerry Rhodes is predicting the Jets to win 9 or 10 games and make the playoffs. What was your reaction when Kerry Rhodes, with a straight face, was telling you that's what he expects from the New York Jets this year?
Well, listen, Kerry Rhodes doesn't lie, and he doesn't play any sort of homer card. So if Kerry says something, he believes it. I've known Kerry for a long time now. He genuinely believes the Jets are going to surprise the NFL world this year. He thinks over 5.5, which is their over-under win total, is too low. He thinks it's a shoo-in. They're going to go over 5.5 wins. He has them winning 9 or 10. He thinks they're going to be the sleeper surprise team of this upcoming season. He really does. And I was a little bit shocked because you don't really hear that from anybody. There's a few people out there that think that. He genuinely thinks that. So, hey, I hope so. That? I do not think that. I don't. But the reason I don't is I don't believe in the quarterback. And this weekend, I had some time to sort of reflect on where we're at with the quarterback. And I think that's the one position that's holding this team back. And I don't believe in Geno Smith. I have no reason to. Now, camp could change, but, being a quarterback's not just about how you deliver a football on the field. It's a lot of other things. It's how you get the offensive line set up. It's how you get your players motivated. You're the leader of the offense. You're the leader of the team in a lot of ways. People look up to you. Young guys are coming in there. Sadiq, Omar Cooper Jr., even Breece is young. They got a young team, man, overall. So I just don't think he exerts the kind of vibe that's needed. There's a reason Tom Brady was winning Super Bowls when he's 40 years old. I mean, you got to have more than just, all right, you deliver a nice football and you're not scared to throw the ball. Like that's fine. You're accurate, which he is.
He did put up good numbers in Seattle, though. So your thoughts on that?
Look at that Seattle team, man. They had DK Metcalf, they had Tyler Lockett, they had even Noah Fant had a good year that year. They had a good running game, good offensive line. But listen, I'm not hating on Geno in terms of him not being an average quarterback. I don't think here he's going to do the things that are required to win 9 or 10 games. But I do think we're a quarterback away. We posted something on uSTADIUM. Did you see that Ravens team? We posted that 2005 Ravens roster. They were stacked. They had a Madden thing like 2005 Ravens stacked. Ray Lewis, Chris McAllister, Jamal Lewis. I mean, like Ed Reed, the list goes, Peter Boulware, Jonathan Ogden, like the list goes on and on and on. They didn't make the playoffs. They went 9-7 because they had Kyle Bowler as their quarterback, and they had one of the best rosters you can put together. You're only going to go as far as your head coach and your quarterback really are going to take you. Now, with that said, I really like this roster. I just cannot wrap my head around really liking the quarterback or the head coach.
Well, the head coach to me is a bigger concern than the quarterback, but the quarterback's still a concern because he wasn't good with the Raiders. Now, I'll give Geno somewhat of a pass for the overall season he had with Vegas because Chip Kelly was a disaster. The O-line was the worst in the NFL. Pete Carroll's old and is way past his prime. Like, they were a mess. So I think the Jets are a way better team than what Geno was experiencing, but it's still a question mark. But Glenn is a huge question mark as well. It's not even just Geno.
Yeah, the other thing, Jake, with the other thing with us is this, right? Like, you look at Geno. Geno was in, I'm looking now, Geno was in Seattle already for a couple years. He was there for 2 years before he was inserted as a starter. Our issue, and this goes for how we judge, coaches and players. Jake, we expect someone to come in their first year and strike lightning in a bottle. Sometimes you got to stay somewhere for a few years. You have to learn the system. Frank Reich's new. Geno Smith here is new. I mean, everything. I mean, you're playing against defenses and teams that they've been together for a while, or a little bit, at least a few years. We have everyone coming in for 1 year, like Justin Fields last year. There was a world where Fields could have been interesting and done some cool things, and we would have won some football games. We saw week 1, we almost won. I mean, like, once preparation, though, kicks in and you have guys and coaches that have been together, man, for years, we're expecting Geno week 1 to go out and throw for 275 yards and a few touchdowns and win that game. He just got here. Sometimes you got to let things marinate a little bit. That's our issue. I just don't know if they're going to be able to strike right away with Geno. I do think, listen, if Geno Smith came here 2 years ago and maybe sat behind Rodgers for a year or started over Rodgers, I think by year 3 or 4 of his time in New York, I think he'd put together a damn good season. We're just expecting someone to come in on a 1-year window and say, oh, make it happen, man, with a new OC, like just figure it out. This is a complicated league. You got coaches and players that have been on teams for multiple years, Well,
what do you expect from Geno then?
I mean, listen, man, I to be honest, I'll be completely frank. I don't know the kind of offense that Frank Reich's going to put together. I want Frank Reich to come out there and be uber aggressive, throw the ball down the field, throw it often, get these guys in space. Sadiq should get 50 targets this year. Garrett should get 130. Omar Cooper Jr. should get 75, 80 targets, get A.D. Mitchell involved, get Mason Taylor involved, get Brees out in space. I don't know if they're going to do that. They might come in, Frank Reich and Glenn, and say, oh, we're trying to win the traditional way. We're going to run the football on 1st and 2nd down. We're going to play a clock management game. I'm going to coach up a really sound defense. We're going to learn the fundamentals on defense, gap control, and we're going to win 13-10. I don't know what they're going to do. I have no idea. If they do that, they're going to lose football games. The other way, they might still lose, but at least you're developing guys and you're making guys better. I don't know, Jake. Does anybody know? I don't know what kind of offense Frank Reich's going to run. I'm not going to pretend to. Carolina, he was calling plays a little bit, then he wasn't. In Philly, he called plays, then he wasn't. I mean, we don't really know the kind of offense he's going to run. But what I do want them to do, Jake, is throw the damn ball often and down the field. Let Geno throw 15 interceptions this year. Let him throw. Let him have a game where he throws 4 interceptions. We're going to kill him, but whatever. Get these guys the ball. Garrett Wilson, Omar Cooper Jr., A.D. Mitchell. We have talent. This team's not set up. And their offensive line, too. It's not like Olu and Tippmann and these guys are like some like road graders. No, they're good in pass pro, actually, especially Olu. Get these guys set and get them pass protecting. We saw last year. Did you ever feel like the O-line was a problem? No, it was a quarterback that was holding onto the ball too long.
That's why I think Geno could be successful if Frank Reich is not washed, because they have a good O-line. Geno can still stand in there, deliver the football. Garrett Wilson's back. I like what I've heard from A.D. Mitchell so far. I think year 2 of Mason Taylor. Sadiq and Cooper are added to this team. Brees is still Brees. Like, there's no reason why this can't be a competent offense. I feel better about the Jet offense than I do the defense right now.
Easily, man. Jake, I'm not just saying this to say it because I don't do that, obviously, but, because I rip the Jets all the time. I love this offensive roster outside of quarterback. I swear, I love it. I love Garrett. I love Omar Cooper Jr. I love A.D. Mitchell. I love Sadiq and Taylor. I love the tackles. I was saying it last week. I loved Olu out of the draft more than Joe Alt. I had him above Joe Alt by a pinch, but I had him above him. I love Olu. He's like the Brickashaw Ferguson-ish. Armand Membu speaks for itself. All you do is have to say his name. I mean, Brees is great. I was a big Braylon Allen fan. What else do we want? I want a quarterback, but that's it. I mean, like, if this team can get a good system with the quarterback, they cannot be scared this year. That's what this comes down to. If Frank Reich is going to run a traditional ground and pound kind of offense because Glenn is telling him, hey, we're going to play sound fundamental football. We're going to be tougher than you. We're going to play good defense. We're not going to give up a lot of points. You know, don't take too many chances. We'll hold down the fort defensively. They're going to lose a lot of football games. They're going to win 4 or 5 games if they have that approach. I think they're going to have that approach. If you put a gun to my head, are they going to have one approach or the other? I do. I'm not like that's, set on them having that approach. It could be they don't, but we know what the Jets have been, and we have to be honest about it. And we know who Aaron Glenn is after a year, and we know Frank Reich's 64 years old, and Glenn's not that much younger than him. So let's just call a spade here. I don't think they're going to come out and just, let it fly, let it rip. I don't think they're going to do that. I really don't. I have no reason to. But I'm also not totally convinced that they won't do that. Like they could. I'm like maybe 60% there that they're going to play this like traditional kind of offense. If they do, Jake, they're going to lose a lot of football games. They don't have the horses and they don't have the roster is not constructed in a way that you're going to play that kind of game because they're going to not be great against the run still this year. We drafted someone who I love, David Bailey.
If they're not good against the run this year, that's a problem. Because look at the investments they made between Tavondre Sweat, Onyemata, Osai, Harrison Phillips still here. Like they need to be better against the run. They have to be. They get gas in the run. Your boy Bailey is not going to get any chances to rush the passer.
I just think, listen, man, I feel like we gotta take one or the other. You want both. What I mean by that is you want to be good getting to the quarterback, or you want to be good against the run. If you're both, you're a very good defense. You're in that top 10 range. If you're both, if I had to make a guess, I don't think they're going to be both. If we're just, playing, cards in general, right? Like I think they're going to be really good getting to the quarterback. I do. And I think Glenn actually can do some cool things and will in terms of blitz packages and stuff, which I would. Because, Jake, what they need defensively, I think, when you have guys like Enigbari, Onyemata, Osai specifically, Davis, and Sherwood, DeMario, you can do a lot of things creatively with those guys. And you have this slew of defensive tackles that can rotate. And then you have these two, high speed, I call them, outside edge rushers. You got a Ferrari and a Lamborghini out there. Get to the damn quarterback. They're gonna Jake. I don't think they're gonna be as bad against the run as they were last year, but I also don't think they're gonna be like I was telling Ryan. I don't think they're gonna be like really good against the run. But I'm fine with that. I'm okay if you're getting to the quarterback and you're, causing, you're forcing turnovers. Jake, forget about the 0 interceptions. We had 4 turnovers last year, 4 all year. We were talking to Kerry Rhodes. I was looking at his numbers. Kerry Rhodes in Arizona the year after the Jets, he had 8 himself. He had years where he had more. He had 5 with the Jets the year before himself. Forget the whole defense. You're talking strip sacks. You're talking linebackers getting, a fumble recovery. You're talking all interceptions. Kerry had more, I think, for more than half his season than the Jets had all last year. One player, a safety. I mean, it's mind-boggling.
Kerry Rhodes, Jets, playoffs. He believes. Let's hope he's right.
I hope he's right, man.
Let's hope he's right.
I'm sick to my stomach that watching the Yankees is bad enough these days.
Disgusting.
What the hell are they doing?
The summer swoon, baby. You know what sucks about it? Baseball's supposed to be a summer sport, and every year the Yankees are just garbage in the summer. And it's the only thing on right now. Thank God, I guess, for U.S. soccer. We'll be watching that later, baby.
Oh yeah,
maybe at a uSTADIUM watch party that Frankie B might actually go to. His own watch party.
Yeah, we are having a watch party tonight at Magic Hour. If anyone's interested, check us out at uSTADIUM on Twitter. I think I'm gonna be there, Jake. I told you I have some stuff going on, but I'm pretty sure I'm gonna be there. The weather's gonna open up too, so all this rain is gonna go away, and it's not gonna be as hot as it's been, which is a good thing.
Thank God. Thank God.
Man, it's been crazy, huh?
Ladies and gentlemen, our first entry into the Garrett Wilson signed football raffle today comes from John J. Williams, who sent me a $10 Zelle. And guess what? That means he is in the Asmaniac raffle for 2.
Just don't let go of the rope.
Never let go of the rope. Garrett Wilson signed football, the prize on the show today. Make sure you enter for your chance to win. Brandon with a super chat. He cuts the line. If anyone could take us to the promised land, it's Gino.
I just feel like he's the guy that's going to lead us to the promised land.
From your lips to God's ears, Aaron, Glenn, and Brandon, thank you for the super chat. Candyman in the raffle for 2. Jet up, Frankie. Don't let go of the rope.
Just don't let go of the rope.
Aaron Glenn, Geno Smith, playoffs. That.
Man, listen, if that happens, I'll try to do a cartwheel on camera. How about them apples? Man, I mean, listen, crazier things have happened in the NFL. Crazier things have happened. But I kind of went down a list, and I went down the playoff list, Jake, last year. I mean, Jake, if you look at the teams that actually qualified for the playoffs, really, you can only point to maybe one team where you could say, or two, where their head coach wasn't, at like some premier sort of level, or some new sort of, idea guy like a Liam Cohen or Ben Johnson. And the only teams you could say are the Bills with Sean McDermott, but Sean McDermott was there for a while, and then the Panthers. But I like that guy in Carolina. So, but he's not some premier coach. But that's about it, man. If you this league, there's so many variables. There's just so many things going on game day and outside of game day in the locker room. Being a head coach is the toughest coaching job, I think, in sports. And the quarterback position is probably the toughest position to play in sports. So I think we'll get there. I do love all the pieces, though, around both of those things. It's just unfortunate that I don't have much confidence in either at this point. I don't know how you really can.
Comments, questions, super chats, cut the line. Sam Aiken in the house. He is in for 2.
Jet up. Let's go.
Thank you, Sam. Olu overall, question mark. Even Amaris Mims had a better back half of the season.
Amaris Mims is trash. I don't.
Frankie
don't
is rage baiting. Are you rage baiting?
I'm not rage baiting. I don't rage bait. Maybe I'm rage baiting when I'm saying rage baits you or baits you, but I'm not. No, I had Olu as my tackle 1 out of that draft, and I will stand by that. Let's see what Joe Alt does. Joe Alt gave up a lot of sacks his first year. I've argued with Nick about this at length. Joe Alt gave up a lot of sacks, and Joe Alt's playing right tackle. Remember, he's not playing left tackle. They have a better left tackle in Slater. So I'll give you my rankings. I had Olu above Alt, and I will stand by that today. Also, I will not. Alt got hurt also, which isn't his fault, but give me Olu. Again, Olu plays left tackle, doesn't give up sacks like Alt does. Alt plays right tackle. Yeah, is Alt better as a run blocker? Great, but I'd rather have a average to above average left tackle as a pass blocker than I would Joe Alt as a right tackle as more of a run blocking type. Alt did move to left when Slater went down, and then he went down. So listen, they're both really good at the end of the day. I don't think the Jets have an offense. By the way, I don't think, and it doesn't even matter. The Jets don't have an offensive line problem. Would we like a better center and left guard? Sure. But overall, this line's good. The line's not going to be the reason they're losing football games this year. It'll be other things, but not the line.
Zach Tendler. Thank you, Zach. He gifted a channel membership. He's the first to gift today on the show, so he's in for 1.
Play call is my superpower, really.
You hear your name, Zach made you a channel member. Arctic Qdom, you are now in Asmaniac. So appreciate you and Zach for watching the show. Today's Jake Asman Show is presented by my friends at PrizePicks. Big soccer day here in the U.S. Cristiano Ronaldo and Portugal taking on Spain I like
Ooh.
Ronaldo
That's
to
a good
have
one.
at least 2 total shots on goal today. So I'm going more on 1.5. And ladies and gentlemen, the thief of corruption was on the United States side for once. Florian Balogun is back. He used the old reverse card against his red card. I'm saying he's going to piss off the world and score a goal tonight because he's basically scored all our goals, it feels like, in this World Cup. So I will say Balogun scores tonight for the United States against Belgium. These two plays are a 2-pick power play over at PrizePicks. $10 to potentially win $25. Make your own World Cup themed prize pick lineups, mix and match any sport. We've been talking about the future odds that PrizePicks already has for some of your favorite Jets players. So check it out. Use that code HMA. And if you put $5 in, you'll get $50 available. Use the link in my description. Again, 2-pick power play. Ronaldo, more than 2 shots. Balogun, who's playing, baby, will score a goal later.
Belgium's putting an appeal in, though, by the way.
Good luck with that.
Saw that. Yeah.
Good luck with that.
Yeah, they're putting an appeal in. I was reading on Yahoo Sports. Belgium has been granted the right to appeal against FIFA's decision to suspend the 1-game ban. So has this ever happened before, by the way? I know everyone's up.
1962
is the last time someone got a red card and they allowed them to play the next game because they took it away. Yeah.
Before the
All
final.
right, what's happened before? Cry me a river.
Here's the big thing. There's no appeal process in FIFA, which is ridiculous. This should have been changed immediately. Like,
Totally.
The officials on the field did not call a red card on Balogun. It was only when they used, split screen still shots in review, or VAR as they call it in FIFA, to determine it's a red, when Messi did the same thing. There's the same play of Messi doing it. They didn't even call anything then. So it was ridiculous from the beginning. It should have been changed immediately. But at the end of the day, Balogun should be eligible to play. I'm glad he is. Anyone upset about it, cry about it. I don't really care.
Same. Yeah. I mean, you got to take what you can get, man. I mean, sports is not always fair. And I feel like as a Jets, Knicks fan, Yankee fan, I feel like we've gotten the short end of the stick. Maybe not the Knicks anymore, which is crazy to say actually still, but I'll take what I can get. That's it. It's just, that's what being a fan is. It's happened before. If now I understand if it was the first time that it's ever happened. Now it was 1962, so it's a long time ago, but it's not like completely against the rules. Obviously, you're not going against the rule book, and that was a BS red card anyway. Like that, it wasn't like that was such a clear-cut red card that he shouldn't play. No, Belgium, play against the best. You should want to beat USA at their full force, not some BS red card that he got. That's the reason he's not playing. Like what are fans mad about? Don't you want both teams at full strength? That's not a real red card.
Exactly.
Everyone agrees on that. Play at full strength. This is sports. Get over it.
Amen. Hit the like button if you're just joining us. Frankie V with us. We'll do some calls coming up. Raffle prize is assigned Garrett Wilson football if you're just tuning in to our show, and a new top prize in the raffle, which will be on Friday this week. We didn't do as many shows last week, centered around the holiday and my radio schedule. So our new top prize is now this to make up for it. It is a custom framed Breece Hall jersey display. Gigantic for your man caves, folks. So you need a real spot in the basement or the man cave, the living room, for where you want to display this. And now that Breece is signed, you get a couple more years of Breece actually wearing the jersey that he signed on your screen there. The Ghost writes in, would you trade a second-round pick for KOC? In a second, I would. I'd trade one of our first that's not the best first for KOC. That's how far I'm willing to go.
Same. Yep, I do the Sean Payton deal. I think it was a 1, a 2, and a 7. Yeah, I'm down with that totally. Look, and look how that turned out for Denver. Denver was they were the 1 seed last year.
Right.
They were the best team in the AFC. So I mean, on in terms of record, they were 14-3. Well, I mean, yeah, I definitely would easily.
Kyle Clifton wrote in, Mougey already has the Jets job. Glenn's 1 foot out the door. I don't think public lobbying Mougey to Mitty makes sense. KOC's been there a while. Coaches are hired to be fired. If they have another underwhelming year and the Vikings owners and KOC come together and they want to move on, you could see it.
Yeah, they just Jake, I don't think they would fire him though, right? It would have to be via trade. He just signed an extension last year. So it'd have to be, or I think earlier this year, actually, in January. So I don't firing is rare. Is in this situation would be a little rare because you're talking less than a year into your new contract. But I think a trade is viable. I do. They just got rid of the GM. They always say when one piece goes like that, like the GM, and you have a sitting head coach, yeah, you might want to give him all the power, and that's sort of what happened there. But if he doesn't deliver this year and it's a mess, you never know what can happen. It's not crazy. And the stuff KOC, someone had commented, I saw on Twitter, that they're like, well, what do you expect KOC to say about Mougey? I mean, KOC went at length to say how much he loved what Mougey's plans were, how he prepares, his preparation, his discipline. And he goes, I'm not surprised that he's like that. He used to be his roommate. So, I mean, they know each other really well. So, yeah, man, there's definitely something there. Maybe it's not even this year. I hate saying maybe it's, you give it some time, but it is good to hear a head coach saying positive things about your GM. And we have a really good GM. I think the draft was just an absolute home run. Day 3 is always going to be day 3. We can always critique that, but
Mougey.
Yeah, man, the first and second round, that's as good as you're going to get, man. Bailey, Sadiq, Omar Cooper Jr., and Pons, man. That's that. Dude, you just stacked a deck right there. That's as good as you can get, honestly, especially for us. We need players like that.
Sam with a super chat. He cuts the line. How many playoff games has KOC won? Give me Kubiak's little brother. See, why would we hire the unknown when you can have the known? Kevin O'Connell's never had great quarterbacks. He's won. He's been really good. He's hired good coaching staffs, right? See Brian Flores, see Josh McCown, see some of the other names on that staff. Mike Pettin was with him for a while. He has that relationship from when the two were with the Jets years ago. Like, KOC is exactly who you would hope Kubiak's little brother would end up being. You take the proven offensive coach if you could get him. Now, if they can't get KOC, I'd be open to, Davis Webb, who's out in Denver, who Sean Payton, in order to keep, actually stepped down from play calling. So Webb could do it for Denver for this year. That's how valuable Sean Payton felt he was. So I'd be open to that, but I want the proven offensive guy if I can get him. And this guy knows Mougey, played for the Jets. Like, he's the dream coach for me if we could get anyone that is potentially available.
Yeah, and KOC's coached for 4 years, remember, right? 4 years, and he coached 2 playoff games. They happen to lose both of them. I mean, yeah, he hasn't won a playoff game, but that's such a small sample size, man. 4 years, you went to the playoff twice, you lost twice, and that's it. I mean, like, the playoffs, you lose, you're out. You're not playing another playoff game until maybe the next year. So, I mean, you're taking a small sample size. I hear that all the time. Oh, how many playoff games has KOC won? He's coached 4 years. I mean, you make it see it. We're not talking about a guy that's been in the league for 8 to 10 years. You lose, you're done. It's not like, oh, I lost a playoff game, and then the next week we're playing another playoff game. You lose, the season's over. So, like, he's 0-2. It's such a small sample size. I don't think it's like that's like a good reason to not like him, right? 4 years.
KOC. We're gonna have those chants from the Jets for the Vikings late in the year. We'll be the other ones at the game. Oh man, let's get to some calls here, ladies and gentlemen. Frankie V hanging out with us. Load up your calls on the Gusbuster Umbrella Hotline. Let's say hello first up today to a man that we call around here Kyle Clifton.
What's up, gents? How are you?
Hello, Kyle.
How you doing, sir?
So, I agree that KOC would probably be one of the top candidates. I agree that we probably have to give up compensation to get him. I don't think he is worth the Sean Payton package because he is not as accomplished as Sean Payton. Now, what does that mean? Like, to me, that means the most you would give up would be a future one, not a one in this all-timer draft next year. It would probably be a one in future years, or some combination of day 2 picks over the a second this year and a third the following year, something like that. To me, that's fair. Otherwise, you know, we're still in the middle of a rebuild, and there's a dearth of talent, especially to my way of thinking on the defensive side of the ball. That I would like to kind of use those picks to bring us up, right? I get it. You don't get something for nothing. I get that he's signed. I get that we imagine that they're going to work extremely well in lockstep. They're on the same page, right? And that they trust each other. I just think that, you know, Peyton was a known commodity. He was, you know, the two-time Coach of the Year winner for the award that you get the most out of the least talent or whatever. Had won a Super Bowl, and even though we like KOC and we think that he's a really good coach, his resume is just not there. And then just one thing about the soccer. I know that we eschew politics on the show, and I'm usually the same way about it. Trump, like, having to brag about this and put his finger on the scale is so crazy.
Are you surprised?
I'm not surprised about it.
Why are people listen, love or hate the guy, that's how he is. He's never gonna change. It is what it is. People are up in arms about what Trump does. Sorry to bring it, but I'm reading this stuff too. This is who Trump is. Why are we still like complaining or surprised about the guy? That's how he is.
No, I understand it, but
I'm
like,
not surprised. I'd be surprised if he didn't say anything, but sorry.
But he's just courting the whole controversy. It's basically inviting this stuff in. Like, you had a just result, and you were probably going to get a just result regardless, because we saw what happened with, I think it was Ronaldo in the past or whatever. Like, it was the just result, and now the Belgians are complaining and they're waffling on it. So what are we doing here? It's driving me a little bit crazy that this is even a question. But, you know, and the Belgians are being very, very, I don't know. I don't want to say how I really feel about their reaction to it, but yeah, it's just a crazy situation. When are we supposed to know more about that? Is it supposed to be by midday?
He's playing. The Belgians.
I mean, they
appeal
can
whatever. It's not happening.
Not going to go through, man. It's like there's less than like a 5% chance the FIFA does anything.
We need a big Pulisic game tonight. Lost in the shuffle is that Pulisic doesn't have a goal that's actually counted yet, and he's supposed to be our best superstar player. He's a Jet fan. We need that big Pulisic game tonight.
Okay. Well, Kyle, let me go, guys. I think I got a leak.
Good luck with the rain, Kyle.
Bye.
Well, to what? Yeah, let's go USA, baby. No, what Kyle was saying about KOC, he's right. KOC's not as accomplished as Sean Payton.
That's the cost of doing business, is how I look at it.
That's exactly what I was going to say. Literally. Would you do it? I mean, yeah, I would. A first and a second, I easily would.
I don't think it would necessarily cost that, but I would do that if you told me that's the only way to get a proven coach. And I trust Woody Johnson to hire a coach.
No, I don't. But I also with Sean Payton, I don't think at that point. I mean, I know it for a fact, actually, at that point, Sean Payton wasn't looked at around the league as highly touted as he was 10 years ago. I mean, Sean Payton's been around for a while. So you're kind of looking at like the budding, offensive-minded head coach in KOC versus sort of the veteran that has been in the game for maybe too long. So I don't think Sean Payton's value was at the peak of what it could have been throughout his career when he was, dicing things up with Drew Brees. I mean, he was having bad years in New Orleans. He wasn't looked around the league the same way. So I think a first and a second, yeah, it's high compensation. But when you're talking about a head coach that can change how the whole team is operating, I mean, that's monumental. And we do
develop your quarterback is the biggest thing.
There you go.
Give your quarterback a chance to blossom, unlike Adam Gase being the guy to coach up Sam Darnold and sinking any chance we had at that working. That's worth it.
Yeah, it's kind of crazy to think that, right? We had Adam Gase doing bumps in the
allegedly
office with Sam Darnold. whatever. I'm not saying anything.
Thank you, Mimosa, for your generosity and tremendous support of the Jake Asman Show.
Hit the mimosa emoji. Mimosa in the raffle for 20 entries. $100 super chat.
Whoa.
Let's go. Let's go. Frankie, you'll meet Mimosa this Saturday. She is making the trip up from Florida to be at Gangrene Beach Club in Atlantic City. She writes in, Frankie, who do you have more faith in, Gino or the kicker we don't have? See you in AC.
That's a really good question. So the kicker we don't have, what's the chance the kicker we get or that starts is...
You don't believe in Jason Sanders or Cade York?
I used to like Jason Sanders. I don't know what happened to him. He kind of fell off a cliff. I don't really have an opinion on Cade York at all. I don't. I'm not the biggest fan. I actually thought Younghoe Koo was actually going to figure things out, but obviously that didn't happen. He was cut within a week. You know what? I'll be a little positive. I've been a little cranky this morning. I'll go with Gino. Okay, Mimosa. I think Gino will perform better versus the average than the kicker that we don't have or we will have. Yeah.
I would probably go with Gino. It'd be so Jets after they have this amazing kicking year from Falk, and a year they still only won 3 games. And Nick Falk's greatness in part cost them the #1 pick, to then this year, when they're actually trying to win, they have a better team than they did last year, better quarterback situation. That's when the kicking becomes a problem.
Jake, if you believe, or anyone out there, and I'm not telling anyone to bet this or betting advice, but Gino's over-unders are extremely low if he were to play the whole season. I don't know. They're kind of shockingly low. I mean, I think it's like 22,650 yards for Gino. I mean, that's low for pass. So if you believe Gino's going to be okay and play the whole year, they're saying they don't think that. I said it last year. We did the over-unders with Fields, and I'm like, these over-unders are crazy low. And for a reason. They didn't believe Fields was going to finish the year. And as a matter of fact, he didn't. I don't know. And I'm not saying Vegas knows everything. They're just, speculating to a degree. But Jake, I mean, like, if you think Gino's gonna play the whole year, 2,650, that's a shoo-in. He could get that by the bye week, honestly, or a few weeks before that, right?
I mean, the bye's week 13, so yeah.
Yeah.
They're shockingly low. Tells me that people don't think he's going to be, 1, very good, and 2, the Jets will be bad, and they'll go to Klubnik at some point to see what he has.
Yeah. I mean,
it's not like he has an injury history. Like, you can't bank on that. Like, Geno Smith's been very durable in his career.
He has. Yeah, I mean, it's just the year, the shocking thing when you look at Geno's numbers, the year he had in 2024, like you brought up earlier, was incredible. I mean, you're talking about over a 70% completion percentage, 4,300 yards. That'd be a Jets record right there. So I don't know. We'll see. I think we'll know more, Jake, when training camp comes around. That's why I'm sort of waiting to give opinions on Geno and numbers and over-unders and stuff. I'm going to wait till training camp because I think that's when you'll get a sense. Jake, if Geno Smith comes out there and he's throwing interceptions and the offense is all over the place, trust me, that'll follow them into September. That will. It does it. It does it most of the time. I know people go, oh, it's not a big deal. We said it about Fields last year. Oh, it's not a big deal. He's sailing balls, into the, the second row. No, it was a big deal. It did show something. You practice how you play a lot of times. So I think we'll get more of a sense then. But yeah, Geno to me is a better quarterback than what we had last year in Fields and whomever else, the Tyrod. So I'm more confident there for sure.
Sam, super chat. So you would trade Bailey and Pons for KOC ? Frankie's making sense.
I would.
Right.
I would trade. I would right now. I love David Bailey. I would trade David Bailey and D'Angelo Pons. You know what? Throw in Omar Cooper Jr. also.
Oh, I mean, that's
yeah, I would for KOC. I would.
Come on. I was with you with maybe the first two, but I was going to defend your take from this standpoint. You don't look at it.
Jr., I look at almost like a second rounder a little bit, Jake, because he was like the end of the first round to a degree. I get he was a first rounder, but
I will not go as far as you, but I will say that a first and a second, like, don't look at the players. It's an unknown. It's an unknown whether you're going to hit on it.
Totally.
And it's like, what wins in the NFL, roster or coaching quarterback? Well, you still would have 2 more firsts to get your quarterback, that your offensive-minded quarterback guru coach gets to hand pick, and you still would then have another first-round pick left over, you know?
People,
so, how much is it really?
Head coach, you're talking.
Maybe it's a first, by the way, in 2027 or 2028, let's say, and it's only a second in 2026. And then
people are saying right now, I'm reading some comments, I'm rage baiting. You're crazy. I'm not crazy. I would do that. I would trade Bailey, Pons, and Omar Cooper Jr. for KOC. Sorry. A wide receiver 2. We have Garrett Wilson. I'm good on a wide receiver 2. And I would do the 1 and 2, the first and second rounder. Are you kidding me? You want to talk a rebuild? A coach will help you rebuild a lot faster than a wide receiver 2. Are you crazy? Look at the Vikings this year. If you don't have it together, nothing matters, man. Look at the Vikings over the last couple years. KOC helped that rebuild. We get in love. Why everyone gets so in love with players? Oh yeah, I mean players. They're not winning you games. Coaches and quarterbacks are. I'm sorry. Yeah, the players are cool. They make some nice plays. They have some highlights. The coach and the quarterback are going to win you games.
So I agree with you. I just think that maybe is a little too much, but
it is a little much. But it's just the point, though. Like get
first
me
and a second. If I had to, I would do that again, because it doesn't need to be in the same draft. Those first and second, you can spread it out. So like that's kind of how I look at it too.
Totally. Yeah. I mean, like, look at the
27 and 28. The first is in 28. We'll do the second this year.
Look at the Cowboys last year. The Cowboys had CeeDee Lamb and George Pickens. They don't have a structure there. That coach is learning. Schottenheimer really doesn't know what's going on. And they actually have a quarterback too. They had great wide receivers. Was there a better wide receiver duo than CeeDee Lamb and George Pickens last year? There probably wasn't, honestly, in the whole league. What about Jamar Chase and what's his name? What's the other guy there they have on the outside? Higgins. Where are they going? Chase and Higgins. Yeah, but no one would trade Higgins for a coach, right? We got to stop looking at players. It's wrong. It's amateur hour.
Big fella right in to the hole, Tanky. You went too far.
Unbelievable.
Now look what you've done. No more protection from the Asmaniacs. Had to pull you out of the chat and cast you down with the Sodomites. Some time in here will feel like you've been run over by the lane train. You understand me? You catch my drift? Give them another 24 hours to think about it.
How is the hole, Tanky? How is it?
I mean, this view is very familiar to me. Back in my Jersey Shore days, I had a few evenings. I'm kidding. I mean, listen. I'm not surprised the big fella disagrees with that. I mean, it's kind of par for the course with some of his takes.
I think Cooper, Bailey, and Pons is a little extreme because you're counting on those guys.
Jake, it's a head coach that knows how to develop a quarterback,
not current players.
It's a head coach that knows how to develop a quarterback. Are we joking here saying, oh, we would do it for Bailey and Pons, but not Omar Cooper Jr.? No, not him. Are we joking? Like if you know ball, you know that a head coach, we don't have one, by the way. If we had a decent head coach, maybe I wouldn't do it. If we had Sean McDermott, let's say, all right.
The warden of the hole wants to have a word with you.
You've been giving me a headache all this morning, and not my head. My head is like this. It's like a big popping pimple. And you know what that popping pimple deserves? The popping. You're like a pimple, except you don't go away. You're like a pot. You're like a fungus. Except here's the difference. It's on my ass, but I'm gonna do a little. You are a headache today. Good thing I
Sorry,
took my
Beast.
nap. But
Sorry to ruin
you know
your
what I'm
morning.
gonna go do? I'm gonna go take a nice 1,000 shot of ibuprofen because of the big headache you gave me. The big. Headache pills are calling for my name. And to take that pill, I'm going to have a nice water. And later on, I'm going to have a salad. Have a salad once in a while.
Does anyone want to bail me out of this place? Yes!
Ladies and gentlemen, Frank P has posted bail for Tanky V, and Frankie has been saved from the hole.
Thank you, Frank. Frank's are great people. I appreciate it, man.
Thank God we got a great raffle prize for everyone who entered. Garrett Wilson signed football. Frank, 10 entries for you. Mimosa, you had 20 earlier. Big fella, 10 entries for you as well. I think you went a little too far because I like KOC, but I understand your premise. I don't think it's crazy. I don't think it's a holeable take for what it's worth. I would not have sent you the hole.
Let me ask you though. Let's say this is a good conversation. I am going a little far. I value coaches greatly.
It surprises me because you love David Bailey. You think he's going to be a superstar, and you're just willing to get rid of that. Trade a future first-round pick, not the number 2 pick. Not all first-round picks are created equal.
Yeah, Jake, the one thing is I was looking at Myles Garrett, for example. Cleveland wasn't able to win for shit.
They didn't have a quarterback.
I know, and we're still looking for one. I'm just, it's like you're only going to go as far as the system takes you. Now, I love the roster. I just think we're a quarterback or a head coach away. So listen. The rebuild is going to come in a multitude of ways. I'm just saying, if you had an offer on the table, hypothetically, it sucks to say, but Bailey, Pons, and Cooper Jr. I know that's a lot, but you gotta get this quarterback and head coach right. And you're kind of helping your quarterback out when you do get a head coach like KOC potentially. So it's a lot. I know it's a stretch. If the deal was on paper and I was the Jets, and that would never happen, by the way, it's like the most unrealistic trade imaginable. I'd pull the trigger on it, man.
Nate ESQ, shout out to Nate. Appreciate the update this morning, Jake. Thank you. Nate won a David Bailey jersey, your favorite, Frankie, and we were sending it up to Canada this week. So Nate, appreciate your support. Got you down in the raffle for 4. More calls coming up shortly. Let me hit this from the great Doc Jet fan who wants to know. Any thoughts on Aiden O'Connell, Vegas backup as a veteran backup for the Jets? 20-11 career touchdown to interception ratio, 84 QB rating, 63 completion, 5-5 career record, service starter, and 23. So the Raiders quarterback depth chart right now is Cousins, Mendoza, O'Connell, and then Jacob Clark, who I have never heard of. Apparently he played football at Missouri State. He was a UDFA. Not a terrible name, I guess, if they're going to add like a veteran with some experience. So I won't poo-poo this. I still think ultimately they'll go into camp with the current quarterback room they have for starters.
Yeah, totally. I mean, I like Aiden. I think he's a good backup. He's someone that will compete. He makes the room better. So he's interesting. I always wanted a kind of backup like that. Like I was always intrigued with, Gardner Minshew, for example, as like your backup that could come in and, provide some depth there. Spot starts. Yeah, I like that. I love rooms with a guy like that. I just like quarterback rooms that have a player like Aiden or Gardner Minshew kind of sitting back there that kind of help you out. It's like a Nick Foles kind of guy,
Bang Mateo with a super check. KOC back the wrong horse and JJ McCarthy, and we'll pay for it unless Kyler Murray can bail him out.
Yeah, I mean, nobody knows for certain that was a KOC move. I mean, they make it seem like it was on the GM Mensa. I doubt that, honestly, but they scapegoated the GM to a degree with that move or for that decision, I would say. But we'll see what happens with this year. I mean, this is kind of the year. Listen, I never loved JJ really out of the draft. I wasn't a big fan. I know I see Nick's in the chat. What's up, Nick? And some other people. from uSTADIUM that liked JJ. I just didn't think he had the volume passing ability that would be required for a 10th overall pick. I think he's a good game manager and he's tough, but when you're getting drafted 10th overall, you got to be able to come out there on Sundays and throw for 300 plus, 3 touchdowns. You got to have that ability. I always thought JJ was sort of a lower volume passer to a degree. Tough kid though. So more of like a glorified game manager. I just thought they drafted him too high, and then you're expecting things too early, and you get yourself in trouble when you start making decisions like that to a degree.
Ladies and gentlemen, more of your calls. Nick from uSTADIUM is on the line. Nick has been rooting against the Jets.
Ooh.
Hello, Nick.
Wow, this is shocking.
Oh, we can't hear you, Nick.
Your mic is
where's your audio? Nick, no. Everyone's got to see the brains behind the uSTADIUM operation here. Nick, we can't hear you.
Can you hear me?
Let me bring on my tech guy. Beast, what do you think happened there?
No sound. No mas.
Nick, reset your StreamYard and we'll try again.
People used to call me Pits. That's why I shave my goddamn body here. That's why I shave my pits. That's why I want to stay fresh.
Why did they call you Pits?
Because I used to stink.
All right. In the meantime, we don't have Nick, but we do have a man that they call Neil, who's next.
Get ready for Neil. He will make 13 points about the New York Jets and maybe hump a Patriots jersey. Get ready for Neil. He's probably smoking a big fat cigar and burning his house to the ground. That's Neil.
Hello, Neil.
What's up, gents? How you doing?
How was the July 4th party?
A lot of fun. Boy, let me tell you something. Everybody's blowing fireworks off like it's going crazy. All of a sudden, I'm looking to the left, to the right, out of the front of my house, and I see this storm come in, that big storm. Jake, oh my God, it was crazy. I ran out back, shut umbrellas, this and that. All of a sudden, the wind came in. Everybody stopped. My friend said his buddy had a party with like $100,000 worth of fireworks in his garage. The thing tipped over and he got burnt and everything. He had to go to the hospital. I mean, you got to realize something. When you're setting up these, the big bombs, whatever the hell they call mortars. When you're setting up a mortar thing, you have to put them in the ground. And if that mortar thing blows over, I mean, I'm surprised I'm not hearing about a lot more damage yesterday, because that came in so suddenly that you couldn't prepare for it. If you had a big, fireworks display, you were in big trouble yesterday. And then it came back and everything was great.
I mean, 2 days ago.
2 days ago. Tanky.
Yeah.
I'm looking forward to meeting you Saturday, Frank.
Likewise.
Okay. And I like you, Frank. I think you're really good. I like a lot of your opinions. This KOC thing is just completely asinine. I'll be telling you the truth. Because let me ask you a question, Tanky. Who would you rather have coach your team next year? Let's just say things go sideways. And I have Sean McDermott. I have a possibility of Mike Tomlin or KOC. Who would you rather have coach your team, KOC or Mike Tomlin? Jake, your answer, please.
I
can't even believe I can't even believe you would even hesitate.
I think I lean the offensive guy. I would lean KOC.
You got to be kidding. Mike Tomlin is a first-in Hall of Fame coach.
Yes.
With 19, never had a losing season in 19 years.
Not an offensive coach, though. That matters.
I don't give a shit.
It matters.
Neil,
recently.
Offensive coach. Wait, one other thing. We have a good quarterback developer on our team. Frank Reich has a very good resume of developing quarterbacks.
Come on.
Excuse me?
Frank Reich, you can't sell me Frank Reich is this quarterback whisperer. You can't sell me on that.
Neil, let me say one thing really quick. KOC in 4 years, 4 years that he's coached, 4 years, he's 43-27. He's won 43 games in 4 years. That's a 61.5 win percentage. That's big time, man, for 4 years. First year he was 13-4.
Now, why is he going to be available? What's going to make him available next year?
If that thing blows up, excuse me, with this quarterback situation, they might trade.
So basically, if he has a 500 or less season, they're going to put him up for trade.
No, I think they have to be lower, Neil. I think they have to go like 4-13 or something.
So if he goes 4-13, what makes him so desirable? Is it going to be a failure? What are we going to take? Another guy's trash?
He just might want out. Better situation.
He doesn't have a resume like Tomlin. Let's face it, man. Tomlin's the answer.
Yeah, but Tomlin's resume is not over the last couple of years. KOC's resume is better than Tomlin. You're judging it based on what the guy you're getting going forward, not the totality of the resume. Otherwise, you just say go hire Belichick if you want resume.
Look, Sean McDermott, when he went to Denver, wasn't being touted as this. That looked like a half-baked idea when what's his name went to Denver.
That hire got lauded by people.
That was not looked at as like a wow, we gave up a lot for him, and all of a sudden he performed because he's got a pedigree. He's a coach.
He's a great offensive coach, which is what Kevin O'Connell is.
Yeah, all right. I mean, look,
again, I'm not bad. I'm not against either. But if it's just in a vacuum, who would I want? And I don't have to worry about trading draft picks for either of them. It's just who do I think is a better coach right now in 2026 and beyond? I would take Kevin O'Connell. And this is coming from someone who would have no issue if Mike Tomlin was coaching the Jets, because I think he'd be our Tom Thibodeau for the Nick analogy, to raise the Jets floor and get him back to respectability.
Yeah, as you know, I did a little background on Tomlin. His wife's from Jersey. She's got her business here. His family and everything. I think he's going to stay. I think he would be enticed by being a Jet coach. I mean, he's going to do this Sunday Night Football gig, but I don't think he's done coaching.
The other thing, guys, with KOC is there'll be some drama with KOC and what's his name in New England, Vrabel over Diana Rossini. They're both, she talks to both of them, so there'll be some good storylines there. But
let's hope we don't worry about a coach. Let's hope we win 10 games and advance the team and have a great year.
Neil, but this is the thing, though. I don't. What Jake said, but with the Glenn hire from day one, he was spot on when he said, "You know what? I'm a little worried because this is a first-time head coach. I'd rather have an experienced coach. I just want the next coach here, and I hope Glenn works out. I doubt it, but I hope so. I just hope he's experienced. You want somebody, they're going to, I mean, and they're not, it's tough to find, man. You got to go in the scrap heap sometime and get someone like a Mike McCarthy sometimes to get an experienced guy. Like Connell's young, it's enticing, but he's under contract. He signed the deal last year.
Yeah, that's a pipe dream. That's something that, if we get a guy like that, it's because he fails with another team. Tomlin went out in the playoff year. He never hasn't made the play. That to me is the most, Tomlin is looked at as, league-wide, player-wide, terrific coach. He's out of football right now. He's the kind of guy that could turn a franchise around quickly like Parcells did with us. That's all I'm saying. That's why I like the Tomlin thing. There's a ton of Pittsburgh guys coming out of free agency after this year. He would bring players with him. All right, we'll see.
Listen, to be honest, I'm.
Well, we have to give up anything for Tomlin. He's still under control.
You might have to give something up.
Kind of guy, but yeah.
It will not be.
We have to give something up for Tomlin too, right?
Yeah, but I read that Pittsburgh was not going to make it like a overly tough negotiation. Like they'll let him go where he wants.
Yeah, you guys are talking about giving up, big first round picks and all this.
That's why I asked you about the comp. Like, is it like how much do I got to give up? If it's just who's the better coach, I'll take KOC. If I got to trade a first and a second, or I can just have Mike Tomlin for a third round pick, I'll do that. You know what I mean?
Yeah. So let's see. We'll cross that road when we come to it. Question: what happened to the Ravens kicker? Where is he now? I mean, he went from the best kicker. Obviously, he got the yips or something. Where is he now? Is he in football now?
Unsigned.
Yeah.
Free agent.
I would take a shot with him. I mean, he might get it back. You know, it's like a
The Jets
closer.
brought him in. They brought him in for a workout last year. Will Parkinson was the one who said that. No one on the beat reported it, but Will mentioned it. Apparently, it happened. He already served his suspension, I believe, so he's eligible again. I mean, no one signed him because he wasn't very good, and then he had all the allegations like Deshaun Watson, all the massage parlor stuff.
But man, he was so automatic. I can't believe we got to go look around for a kicker now. That's be a little bit of a cloud over our head. Hopefully, we solve that. I think we're going to solve. My feeling is we're going to see how Gino does. I think that Mougey or whatever is going to delay taking a veteran quarterback, until he sees how well Gino does. If Gino's not doing well in camp and he's throwing picks and he looks like Justin Fields, he may go out and get, use draft picks to get a better backup that could be a starter. What do you think about that?
I don't think it's Gino. I think it's how Klubnik and Zappi look, whether or not they sign Cooper Rush or they trade for Andy Dalton, has a familiarity with Reich, and they got 4 quarterbacks. I think it's something like that. I think Gino's going to be eligible for camp. He'll show up, and he'll probably look fine. Like, he's a veteran quarterback.
Yeah, I don't think there's any way that if he plays. Oh, he's working out with Frank Gore. Did you see that?
Your Jet legend, Frank Gore, according to Boyd.
Yeah. I'll tell you, I mean, look, he's dedicated. He's going to want to, have a big year. He's got a big chip on his shoulder. He's going to throw the shit out of the ball. He's like a polished Jameis Winston. He's going to throw the shit out of the ball. He's going to give us some really good off. I'm so excited for the offense, guys. There is no doubt in my mind the offense will outperform the defense this year. No doubt. I would bet anything on it. And assuming he's healthy. If he gets hurt, obviously that's out the window. But if he's healthy, our offense is going to outscore the defense.
These goddamn exploding cigars. I gotta go, Jake. I'll call back later. Shit.
See you on Saturday, Neil. Can't wait to hit the blackjack table with Neil again.
Oh, yeah. I haven't played blackjack in a while. By the way, they're opening up this casino in a few years, Jake, right around the corner from me.
City Field?
Oh, yeah. I'm right down the street over there, man. I'm looking
Steve Cohen,
forward to that.
That's his focus these days.
Met fans were going nuts yesterday, like they had lost. I'm like, I know you guys were like blowing the game, but then like you guys scored a. You won the game. Relax.
I mean, they almost blew like a 7-run lead in the ninth.
You still won. Chill.
Let's try Nick again.
Oh, let's go.
Nick.
All right, you hear me?
Hey.
Good. What's up?
How are you, Nick?
Man?
I'm good, man. How's everybody?
You're coming Saturday, right?
I'm trying. I'm going to see. I got birthday parties for the kids, but I'm trying to make it down.
We need you there, Nick. Come on now.
I hear. I know. Someone's got to watch Frank.
Man, he's like the exact opposite of me these days. So.
See, I had to. I listen all the time. I just never really dialed in, but I had to call and back up Frank because I saw the chat was really ripping him apart, which is par for the course. But today it struck a nerve for sure. He's 100% right. I mean, how can you watch the Jets over the last, let's say, 2 decades, right? Obviously, forget the 2 years of Rex Ryan. Let's go back to Parcells. How can you sit here and not say that a coach, especially one now who's actually coaching towards where the NFL is going, not to sound like Chris Johnson and Adam Gase here, but Kevin O'Connell has had a 14-win season and a 13-win season. And last year, he put up a Mike Tomlin year, except they didn't qualify for the playoffs because the NFC was a little better, and won 9 games with a terrible team. They had Max Brommer, I think that's his name, playing quarterback. I mean, O'Connell is the exact type of coach that this Jets team needs. And to say, I mean, maybe Frank, when you put a player, like what Frank is saying about the picks, I totally agree with. When you put players' names to it now, like it's a little harder to like kind of reason or stomach because you're attached to them a bit, like Bailey and Pons. But like, a first and a second for Kevin O'Connell is a no-brainer, especially when you have you still have 2 number 1s next year. You'd have your 3, and you have O'Connell who, like, I'm a huge Arch guy. You guys both know that. if Kevin O'Connell came here and he's like, and we can't get Arch, let's say, I would trust O'Connell to take the quarterback. I know you could talk about McCarthy. Who knows really what happened there, but I would trust what O'Connell, how he would develop this next quarterback, because I mean, we've had good players here. We've brought in talent. We've drafted top 10, what feels like 9 out of the last 11 years. And where's that gotten you? We've had no coaching. So people are all up in arms about like Frank saying he would trade. I mean, we don't even know it. I love Bailey as much as Frank. Like I don't, tweet or post about it as much, but like I like when you attach a name, we don't know what the hell he's going to be. Pons is a sub 5'9" slot corner. Who cares about players like that? We just had who's the kid we traded? Carter. He was the best slot corner in the league for a year or two.
DJ Reed we had was really good.
Yeah,
here, right?
Cares?
We were winning with those
About a
guys.
slot corner. And a pass rush. Yeah, pass rushers are important, of course. Guys who could turn the ball over, guys who can hit the quarterback, they're important. But they're not Kevin O'Connell. O'Connell and coaches change everything. It's like with McVay in St. Louis when he went over
There's
there.
a limit to it, that would be my point. Like trading away Bailey, Cooper, and Pons. Like
I
I'd
would
rather
still do it.
picks.
I really would.
I don't know.
I don't think that there's a value you can put on a star head coach. Coaching means everything in the NFL. Everything. It's not baseball.
But you also need players too. We can't just have.
Yeah, you do. But listen, people always harp on these GMs we can't draft in the 3rd and 4th and 5th round. Look how bad we've drafted. Yeah, but go look. You say, McVay finds this guy here. What's the receiver? Nakua, or this coach X found this guy in the 4th round. It's drafting is also about coaching.
Totally.
Like, you don't
Especially
develop
in those
players.
rounds.
Yeah, all these guys are talented. It's just where are they going to go? Who's going to get the most out of them? It's all about coaching in this league. And O'Connell, look, I don't think he's available at all. Minnesota would be beyond stupid to make that guy available. But if there's even a little bit of a chance, there's nothing I wouldn't give up to get O'Connell.
Have you guys looked? I was saying this, Jake. I said this like a few weeks ago on your show, or maybe even more, like a month ago. Look at the Seahawks defensive roster. Look at that roster. There's a few names, and then it's a bunch of day 3 guys. The whole roster, really. You do have Leonard Williams.
He did an incredible job last year.
You did an incredible job, man. Coaching outweighs player talent in football besides quarterback any day of the week. We have 3 first-rounders, too. Like, that hypothetical trade, you think what? We're never going to have the ability to draft a receiver like Omar Cooper Jr. again? What is that guy going to be like, the wide receiver 2 here for the next 5? You don't know. You have no idea. Like, you can find receivers. It's not like if we're talking a quarterback, I'm not, trading Olu.
But David Bailey's the number 2 pick. That should be enough for that, like KOC alone. Like we don't need to overpay for the sake of overpaying.
Hey, I guess the point is the value in what you're putting on.
Yeah, I think you're talking about the value of the picks, not the play. Like, they're going to want picks. They're not going to want Bailey, or you know what I'm saying?
That's what I'm saying. So like, I'd be willing to trade a 1st and a 2nd. But when you actually put like players to it, like that feels too extreme.
Yeah, it makes it real. It makes it like real. Like, yeah, when you attach a name to it. But like I don't know who said about Sean Payton before. And please, can we stop this Mike Tomlin shit? It's unbelievable. Why would anybody want to go and get Mike Tomlin on this team at this point? Well, he's won 9 or 10 games every year. He's lost his last 4 playoff games by an average of 35 points.
Look at the quarterbacks he's had.
What's the point? Yeah, he can't find a quarterback. We can't either.
Right, but he's never had the resources
down
to
that
do
road
it.
Again.
Well, there'd be a path for him to have a quarterback. If the Jets have one of the top picks, they get a quarterback, pair him up.
Yeah,
with
but
a
you're
good
going to
coach.
trust him? Look, how about his offensive coordinators he's hired? Terrible.
Again, he's not perfect, but he's a floor raising coach is how I'd view it.
To me, it's just it's like it's the hamster wheel, man. You got it. We have to change
hamster wheel. The Jets can't sniff 8 wins. They haven't done it in a decade.
Yeah, but why? Mike Tomlin's going to come here with a
10-7.
No baseline here. The Steelers are a winning program. Programs win, right? Like the Steelers have established a culture of winning, and he's credit to it. But they won before him, and they're going to win after him. Like, I don't think Mike Tomlin is the reason why the Steelers were so good for a decade and a half. I think there's a line in Pittsburgh.
Guys, with that one,
would you rather Sean McDermott then?
I don't want either of them.
So who do you want? Just an unproven coach who's never been
the
an NFL coach before?
That's who I would. If you can't get O'Connell, yeah, or Steichen,
you don't think that's a risk?
I'd be interested in Steichen. Or if the Eagles have a down year and they fire their head coach, I'd be interested in him too.
You think Davis Webb's going to be one and done
I
there?
love Davis Webb.
Do you? I honestly, man, I know you've been big on him. I don't have enough information to.
Yeah, I talked to a few people around the league about Webb, and they all rave about him. Similarly to Liam Cohen, who I was super high on 2 years ago. The same people tell me the same thing about, maybe publicly he's a little awkward, Cohen, but internally everybody he coaches and everybody he's around, they vouch for him like nobody else. And they do the
for
same
Sean Payton to give you the keys to run his offense
100%.
says a lot right there, doesn't it? Yeah.
I'm a fan. I just think I rather Tomlin or McDermott potentially before him. But again, I'm open to it.
Think it's the same thing, Jake? It's like, yes, McDermott had Allen. I mean, that's it's the unicorn, Josh Allen, right? Like, I don't think so many coaches and GMs
made
are
the playoffs with Tyrod. Ended the longest playoff drought.
But that was like a team coming out and he was coming in. I would probably prefer McDermott over Tomlin. I just think he's got more of a modern and the ability to kind of build a program, which I don't think Tomlin did. Tomlin kind of just took over and kept it. He babysat that team. Let's be honest. He won with Cowher's team, and after that, they just kind of kept that baseline of winning over there. But they didn't really win anything outside of with Roethlisberger and Cowher's team. To me, Tomlin
or Aaron Glenn?
Nick, you and I disagree a little bit on that. Listen, man, I get where you're coming from with the playoff games and whatnot, and I get that Mike Tomlin has a high floor and almost a low ceiling kind of coach. Did win a Super Bowl, mind you, but Nick, it's tough to win games in the NFL. This guy never goes under 500. That's saying something. It's a tough league, man. It's like there's something he's doing there, or he did.
Doubt.
I mean, So it's like I get that here. We may not like. I want the Jets, and I think we all do want the Jets to kind of, or I do, or Nick, I assume does too. I want to swing for the fences, Jake. I just think they're trying to now with all this chaos going on, they're almost in desperation mode and they're trying to just raise this floor to just be competent. And I get that. I get doing that. And then you can add on top of it, but you got to start at the head coach and quarterback level right now. I like the pieces we have, but that'll hold us back, man. That'll hold us back. And I think if it costs a few assets to get that head coach, I still like the pieces here. You know what I mean? Yeah.
I mean, doesn't everything?
Assets by picks too, not just players, huh?
Everything starts and ends with the quarterback, and you have to have that coach who builds the situation for that quarterback. We've never had that. We've drafted rookie quarterbacks and given them to rookie head coaches or rookie offensive coordinators, and just crossed your fingers and hope that coordinator would turn into the next guy under this defensive head coach who would leave in a year or two, if that. Like, we had the conversation about Engstrand, Frank. It's like, yeah, you like the idea of Engstrand, but even if he had a great year last year, he would have left for a head coaching job, if not this year, the year after.
This is a good comment from Addy here, because you're talking about how important coaching is. And Mike Tomlin, who never had a top pick to get a new quarterback, still was able to go to the playoffs with Mason Rudolph and Kenny Pickett and a bunch of scrubs at the position here. So I think you're too down on Tomlin.
No, Tomlin's fine. Tomlin's like Mike McCarthy, who's in there now. They're both really good head coaches.
The Jets need that, though. They're in hell right now. You got to get someone to raise your floor.
More than any team need a quarterback coach. They need a coach who's going to identify a quarterback, identify an offensive coordinator, offensive mind. If he's not calling the plays, which I want O'Connell or Davis Webb or whoever comes in to call the plays as well. Like, everything the Jets franchise needs to do right now is about that next quarterback that they're going to bring in next year. So,
by the way, I want to
Tomlin can find a quarterback. He has it in 20 years in Pittsburgh.
Well, he's never had a top pick to be able to take one at the top of the draft.
Yeah, but you can move to, they picked the small hands guy.
Pickett. In the 20s though.
Was it? All right, so you can move up 10 picks easily if you identified a guy, you could trade up and get him.
Just a note with Kevin O'Connell, first state Jets. You're not making a lot of sense in these comments. You're saying that KOC was winning games because of resurgent Darnold. He had Cousins that first year. They won 14 games or 13 games. The next year, Cousins got hurt. They went 7-10. Then the following year, they did have Darnold. They went 14-3. But he won 9 games last year with a mess at quarterback. So it was not. He had 1 year with Darnold. I don't know,
In the 7 and 10 year, remember he made Josh Dobbs off the couch look competent for a couple games there. He's telling him
and
to
the only
play
reason
in his helmet.
Jake, the only reason they went 7 and 10 and 23 was because Cousins got hurt. Nick Mullins played half that season. That's if Cousins was healthy that whole year, they weren't going 7 and 10. And you have a guy that maybe won 50 games in his first 4 seasons, which would be up there in NFL history for wins for a coach's first 4 seasons. So, I get it.
You remember, there was a report, I think, in The Athletic that O'Connell really wanted to trade it for Drake May, but the Pats obviously wouldn't move off that pick. Like they called and they were offering 2 or 3 number ones, and they wouldn't move the pick. So he clearly, they settled on McCarthy, similarly to how the Jets, when they were, we were tanking for Lawrence, right? We just settled on Zach because he was the next guy, right? Like it's a similar situation.
Yeah. I mean, Nick, I don't know. That situation there in Jake is interesting because I think scapegoated that GM for the most part.
Yeah.
With this JJ thing. I've heard some things about KOC not being completely happy with that situation there. He'd signed the extension last January, which right now we're you're going to get into 2 years post of that. Things change, but they're not going to get out of that deal anytime soon. They can, unless they trade him.
Yeah. I mean, they brought in a new GM. I know that. I don't think he's going to be available, but how do you not try? That if they get rid of Glenn, hopefully, fingers crossed, and the GM Mougey, he's going to reach out to O'Connell, see if there's any. That's his guy,
sure,
right? So there will be conversations, but that's why we're talking about draft picks here, because they're not going to just fire him, because there's no way he's going to go 4-13. He's too good of a coach. I heard you say that before, Frank. I think 4 wins, but like if they do win 8 games,
that would
if they win 8 games because the little dude, the quarterback, what's his name?
Kyler Murray.
Yeah, because Murray is kind of like holding the fort down, and they have no kind of path to a quarterback. O'Connell will probably. He'd be open to getting out, especially. And again, Jake, this is where you and I will have this conversation. And I don't know if Frank agrees with me. Everything about this season should be about getting the number 1 pick and praying that Arch Manning is the guy to come, that some of us believe, myself included, because then you'll have coaches knocking down our door to coach this kid.
Well, yes, but I don't think the Jets aren't trying to tank. They just might be bad.
They don't have to. They're bad enough.
So do you think you actually think they're going to finish with the number 1 pick this year?
Why
this year and not last year? They were worse last year.
So many things can happen, right? Like last year, we were the reason we didn't get the number 1 pick was because of Nick Folk. Honestly, if they had a kicker situation like they have this year, who knows? Maybe they have the number 1 pick. Yeah, that guy, Isaiah Williams, they cut by Halloween and brought him back, and he was the MVP. So are they bad enough? They are in the bottom 5 teams who they have one of the 5 best chances to get the number 1 pick, in my opinion. I won't come out and say 100% they're going to get the number 1 pick, because you guys know so many.
They never get the number 1 pick. The Jets in their history never get it.
Well, listen, they got the worst coach in football, and they have a quarterback who just delivered his team the number 1 pick last year. So the odds are on
that team was a lot worse, though. The Jets at least have a good offensive line. They have some skilled players.
It was the corpse of Pete Carroll. But Pete Carroll forgot more football than Aaron Glenn will ever.
Yeah, but Chip Kelly was terrible. The O-line coach was his son who he refused to fire.
I hate to break it to some fans out there. Frank Reich sucks. The guy who was just on before, who said we already have our quarterback whisperer in house. It's Frank Reich. The fuck? What? Frank Reich is terrible.
I do not think that
I don't know what to expect from him at all. I don't know. He was
what do you expect?
Frank Reich was
terrible because he's
Frank Reich was people don't understand this though with Frank Reich. He was semi-retired like 8 months ago. I saw
ask him to come out to do a favor.
I saw an interview on PFT with him, and they're like, he's like, I don't know, maybe I'll consult for a team. Maybe I'll be an advisor somewhere. Hey, he was done. He was thinking about, retirement. Rightfully so. He's had a good career in the NFL. He's done
terrible. Frank Reich is terrible.
As an OC, I'm not a fan. As a quarterback's coach, I'd be fine with it. But as an OC, it's too much.
Frank, he's the coach. He's the offensive head coach.
No, I know. As an OC,
Glenn is going to be calling his bad defense. It's funny because this is probably the first time your chat has ever heard of me, and they thought Frank was bad, and they never got a taste of it.
See what I have to deal with? Then you guys think I'm negative.
Yeah.
You see the
I also haven't talked about this team in months.
They're not going to be the worst team in football. I'd be very surprised.
Jake. They definitely could be.
Well, sure, they could, but they never are. Like, they're never bad enough to be the worst team in football. The best they could ever do is number 2. They will not have the first.
Yeah, maybe you might be right.
I mean, listen, said something. Nick was saying something about like he likes the roster, but it's young, and we don't have the coach really to kind of get these guys in a position. Because Nick, you like the draft we had.
I love Bailey.
Yeah,
Bailey's going to be well coached by Dunbar.
I did some mocks, Jake, with the Jets taking mocks that I wanted to happen with them taking Bailey and Sadiq. And I like Cooper. I think Cooper could be like a really good third option on a really good offense. Like that's my thoughts on him. Could he be a really good 2? Probably, if we have like Kevin O'Connell and Arch Manning. But like he's a great. They have pieces. Like there's pieces here that you could see on a winning team going forward. It's not going to happen yet. You have the worst coaching staff in football. It takes, especially tight end, like people, again, I'll be negative here for a minute, but people who are expecting like 500-600 yards and 5 touchdowns for Sadiq might have to just take a step back and realize it's hard for tight ends to come in. And everybody's not Brock Bowers and Tyler Warren. It's going to take some time for Sadiq to get implemented into a good offense. Like it's going to, and that's fine. If that's what comes out of this year and they finish with the top pick or the second pick and we get to flip this and get a real coach and a quarterback in here, then you're coming into like a situation that we've never put a new coach and quarterback in. Like
Kevin says, anyone else that would rather eat lead paint chips than listen to this guy. Nick,
listen, Kevin, I could tell you the Jets are the best team in football and they're going to win 12 games and look like an asshole later when, again, they're picking top 5 again if you want me to, but I won't do that. I'll tell you what I think is the truth.
Nick, you better be there Saturday.
I'll try, but take it easy,
Don't count on it, Jake.
He's not even going to show up to his own event later. It doesn't sound like. You guys are unbelievable. Frankie, I will see you Saturday, and maybe I'll see you tonight potentially.
Yeah, I'll contact you in a bit, Jake. Let me see what I could do over here.
Good stuff from you.
No, I appreciate it. Thanks, guys.
Thanks for hopping on. Next gang's all here, already out with Kerry Rhodes. We played a clip from it the other day on the show. Go check out the full conversation with Kerry. He was great. That is a good dude right there.
Yeah, Kerry's great, man. Kerry's awesome. He's for him to honestly say that he thinks the Jets are going to be a sleeper team, makes me think a little bit, just a bit, because Kerry just doesn't say things to say him. So that was interesting. But yeah, Jake, I appreciate it, man.
Ladies and gentlemen, Tanky V joining us, and let's hope that Frankie V stays healthy on Saturday. Don't even know one of these. We're going to get to your calls to wrap up the show shortly here. Comments, questions, super chats, cut the line. I got some super chats I need to hit as well. But first, here's what we're going to do. We're going to be right back after these very short words.
Can you guys hear me? 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 Honestly, can you guys hear me? Honestly, guys, can you guys hear me?
Hey, punch the bag.
Oh, no. Oh, no. Oh, no. Get Gary on here. Get Gary on here.
Gary, call in.
We need to evaluate these punches. What is this? Mad Max, what are you doing, bro?
I'm boxing.
You look like a seal swinging your fists around.
That's terrible. You guys stand like this. Jab, 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 jab. Not like that. No! Punch.
Let's get the punches straight, Beast.
You gotta put it in full force. You're throwing it like an ace. Forward.
Yeah, bro, you can't swing sideways. Dude, you're gonna get knocked out. You gotta tuck your chin in. You gotta have your fists here. And when you throw a punch, you twist, and you come back.
Yes, sir.
And every time you throw a punch, you're coming back because you want to protect your jaw with the other hand. You know what I'm saying?
Yes, sir.
This is no good. Gotta tuck that chin in and you lean forward. You know what I'm saying?
Let's see. Jet.
One of the greatest segments in the history of the show. Mad Max, if he gets into a fight with anyone.
The way he shrugged his shoulders and then went like this.
Mad Max rules has entered the studio. Can you hear me? Yo, can you hear me? What's up? Oh man. Good job. Yo, can you
It's coaching. We've got penalty improvement. Ran the ball good in garbage time. No field goals blocked. We cut our team MVP. Traded away 2 of our best players. We have Charles London and several moral victories. Fired my DC. 2026, here we come. Don't let go of the rope. I need another hug from Woody. We're built for shit.
Hi, everybody. Look at me today.
And we're back. Comments, questions, super chats. Cut the line. Couple super chats I want to hit. This one is from Sam, who says, how could Frankie be right when Tomlin is available? Again, if it came down to compensation, depending on what it is, I would lean Tomlin over KOC if you could have either. But if I could just have one, as I said before, I would definitely go with Kevin O'Connell because he's younger. He's an offensive guy. That, to me, is what the Jets need. Keep hiring defensive guys. Hire an offensive guy with previous experience. It's actually positive experience, not Adam Gase. The only offensive coach the Jets have hired since Bill Parcells is Adam Gase. It's embarrassing. Top Gun in the raffle for 2. The promised land has to be at least the playoffs this year. I'm praying to the football gods that Gino's good for us this year. I feel like the team is better than last year, so please be good. See, I disagree with Nick, who we just had on, and he called in. This team is better than last year's team because Gino's light years better than Fields or Brady Cook. I think the roster overall on offense is better in some areas. It's hard to be a worse coach team. I think Frank Reich's an upgrade over Engstrom. I'm not even telling you Frank Reich is good. I just think he's better. Better than what we have seen. Bang says McCarthy was a handoff merchant in college. That's what went wrong with JJ in the NFL. Looking back, Nick should have been the pick at 10. Yeah, I mean, if they could do it over, I'm sure. But remember, Bo Nix was thought to be a second-round pick, and people criticized Denver when they took Bo Nix, where they took him in the first round. But Sean Payton had his guy. He identified his guy, and that obviously has paid off. Sam wrote in, have you looked at the Vikings' last 4 to 5 drafts? How was the GM the scapegoat? It sounds like they put the Darnold thing all on him. That it was more him saying, move on from Darnold. We got to see it with McCarthy than KOC. Now, who knows what the real story is, but all I know is KOC survived, the GM didn't. Last chance to get in on our first show today. Dylan Terriman joining me this afternoon. Normally Dylan's on Thursdays, but because of our schedules this week, we moved some things around. So DT hasn't been on the show in a couple of weeks. He's going to be making his triumphant return later today. We have a Garrett Wilson signed football up for grabs. People, make sure you sign up for the Patreon as well. I know we've been talking about Jets Dolphins on October 25th. There's info coming soon on that. If you want to secure your spot before the general public, as we have about 70 seats available, patreon.com/Jake Asman Show. Get in the Discord, and when we drop that link to reserve your spot, you'll be the first to know. And again, this Saturday, Gangrene Beach Club, it's going down. Today's Jake Asman Show is presented by IndaCloud. It's officially summer, which means the heat is up. The schedule is packed. Sometimes you just need to mentally cool down without crashing out like the Jets in a typical fourth quarter meltdown. That's where IndaCloud comes in. IndaCloud's a fully legal online cannabis dispensary with gummies, exotic flower, premium pre-rolls, zero sugar THC sodas, energy gummies, and extra strength sleep gummies. Everything is federally legal hemp THC, lab tested, and shipped discreetly right to your door. I love these zero sugar THC sodas for a night when you want to relax, stay social, and not wake up feeling like you got hit by David Bailey. So as maniacs, if you're 21 or over, you can get 40% off your first order at indacloud.co with code ASMAN. Again, if you're 21 or older, 40% off your first order at indacloud.co with code ASMAN. Enjoy responsibly, and huge thanks to IndaCloud for supporting the Jake Asman Show. Last chance to get in. I believe today's closer is on the line. Will he root for the United States of America tonight in their showdown against Belgium? That's the question on everyone's mind.
I'll be studying tonight. I got a lot of studies I got to take care of tonight. And
you'll be studying for what?
I got a lot of music to come up with. A lot of music.
What does that mean?
Just this past Saturday, did a live show, turned up the heat, kicked a lot of ass, and went right through the air. I was kind of like David Lee Roth, a little mixture of Eddie Van Halen. See, there's an old saying: I know how to bring heat, but when it comes to turning up the notches, a 5,000 to 10,000.
Adam says, "Are you studying your genital warts?"
Calm your freaky down.
Gator says, "WTF are you talking about?" So, are you going to root for the U.S. tonight or not? Or you're a communist?
I'm not watching anything tonight. I got to study.
You're not watching the United States? I bet you watched England last night. You know, the nation you're not from.
I want to learn things in life. I want to learn different things in life because for the future.
Did you watch England last night?
I was doing that and also having sausage. As a matter of fact.
So you watched England last night, but you can't watch the U.S.?
And also watched Joey Chestnut down a bunch of hot dogs. And
Joey Chestnut's American.
I would take those hot dogs back and I would grill those myself.
Joey Chestnut is American.
I don't have a gas grill right now because the gas on my grill is done.
Dana says, how about you learn to be a proud American?
How about you learn to read books? I mean, read books, get an education. I mean, why do you think I stayed in school? You think I got time to cut class? No, I have things in life that I want to look forward to, like, grow a future, get a car, work on things, put money back in the bank.
You're not working on anything. You're rooting against your own country.
No, I'm busy with life.
It sounds like you're not rooting for the United States of America.
It's not,
you call yourself the global enforcer, but you're not rooting for the United States, most powerful nation in the world.
We know we are good because why? Our oil prices are coming down. Our gas is coming down.
You wear a MAGA hat and you're not rooting for the United States tonight.
Reason why I wear a MAGA hat because I don't play games anymore. See,
but you don't root for America.
Who got picked on the most in high school? In grammar school, I got picked on the most. Why? But I did I fight?
But what does that have to do with rooting for the United States?
You don't understand what I'm about to tell you here.
No.
Grammar school got picked on. High school got picked on. Oh, let's see. Did I get ketchup packets? People used to call me Pitts. That's why I shave my goddamn body here. That's why I shave my pits. That's why I want to stay fresh.
Why did they call you Pitts?
Because I used to stink.
Lou B writes in, he called me last night, so happy about England, and he will not support the USA. Beast, I can't have a communist working for me.
Look, I'm going through a lot of things right now. Very, very personal times right now for me.
So what does that mean, though? You can't root for the United States in soccer?
I don't have a family right now in front of me. You know what?
But what does that have to do with the World Cup?
Me out. They stuffed me out. They turned their backs on me.
What does that have to do with the World Cup?
A lot of things.
It doesn't.
Personalities. I'm sure we're going through a struggling time in life, with personalities. We don't even know who the hell half of us are, anymore. I don't even know who the hell I am anymore.
You're not an American, that's for sure.
Oh, that's all bullshit. That. And I don't feel like picking a fight with anybody today. So if you want anything, you just leave it.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Communist. Lou B says, KOC will never go to a team he doesn't trust. The GM again, big clue. See everyone at AC. Anyone know when training camp schedule is released? It could be this week, Lou, because 2 years ago they released it this week. It came up on my time up. I'm not sure if the Jets are going to be releasing it this week, though. Could be on a random date. Some teams have already released some practices that they know that are open. I would love to know, because the second we get some dates, we could put together our annual Asmaniac training camp meetup at Chef Kevin's restaurant. We need a new closer because we can't have a communist close us out. So Johnny Boy will close today. Hello, Johnny.
Yo, what up, Jake? What's going on, man?
How are you, my friend?
Doing well, man. Hey, USA. Is that easy? Like, what are we talking about, bro?
That's it, man. Big one tonight. Let's go.
Hell yeah, dude. They should pull this one off as well. So how awesome was seeing Mexico get booted out last night, where they were trying to give them every opportunity to try to win.
11 minutes of extra time. They were not going to stop that forever.
Dude, I've never seen that. That's wild. But World Cup's been awesome. I mean, it's been great. And hey, Monday Night Football, let's go. I'm all about it. So, the KOC conversation, it's wild, right? Like, whoever the individual that brought it up to KOC and all that, you know, I would love to know who it is.
Well, he did a Zoom for the charity golf tournament, and a reporter from the New York Post asked him about it.
Bet. I know people are talking about like the stuff with Sam Darnold and all that, but Sam Darnold came out on a presser and he said that for him, everything started to click when he was with the Niners and with Kyle being able to coach him up and all of that. So I don't know if I put that on KOC. I mean, did he do good with him? I mean, obviously, right? The other thing with, I don't know, man, this whole like, I would trade what Frankie was saying for like a Sean McVay or for like a Kyle Shanahan, guys like that. That's what I would essentially give up. But for KOC, that's a little bit too rich for my blood, man. And I don't know. So, because I believe that you need players, just like you were saying, we need to have some players in there. So, but I wanted to ask you this. So I called in, you know, I asked BG in the morning a little bit earlier as well too. Right now, you would probably say that we have the most talent on the offensive side of the ball currently, right, with this roster.
Yes, I think they have more offensive talent than defensive talent right now.
If you were to rank the positional groups on the offense from 1 to 5, 1 being the best out of the group, right? So you would have your offensive line, you have your tight end room, you have your running back, wide receiving room, and I'm missing one more. Did I say it all? I think I did.
Quarterback, you counting?
Quarterback room. Yeah, there we go.
I mean, the O-line's it's really tough with something like this. I would say the O-line's 1, running back room probably 2, receiver 3, tight end is very unproven. You could flip-flop tight end and receiver however you want to do it. It just depends. I probably would go receiver because I already know I have a bona fide 1 with Garrett Wilson. And then quarterback, I guess, would be 5. It's just like off the top of my head.
So do you worry about the left guard? And I mean, I hate crapping on Myers because I think Myers did a serviceable job last year and what they had, but I don't know, man. It's tough, man, because I go, like, for me, I think number 1, I think the tight end room is really good.
It's projection, though. Like Sadiq, we don't know what he is, and Mason Taylor was solid as a rookie at times, but
I could say that's the thing about the wide receiver other than Garrett Wilson. Then
yeah, but Garrett Wilson's a pretty big deal, no? Like, he's a bona fide top 10 receiver in the league. Like, I'm taking that over a rookie in Sadiq and hoping Taylor takes a year 2 leap.
Oh, yeah. So, yeah. Anyway, that was my take on all of this. And what's this weird thing I have to say? You want me to say to close it off for you? Because, you know, we don't want Beastin over here not saying USA.
No. There's no raffle for this show, so I don't need anyone to throw us to the wheel. But if you want to show Beast how to give a USA chant, that'd be fantastic.
Oh, USA, all the way. What are we doing, Beast? Come on, bro. USA, man. United States of America, dog. 250th.
Boom.
Rejected. Sorry.
Beast writes in, to all the haters, shut up and go choke the chicken. I got enough personal problems. So to the haters, you don't know shit about me. Leave me alone.
Honestly, Beef Burger, how you doing today? How's 4th of July weekend?
Get the hell out of here.
Oh, man, is Mikey Midnight on the line? Let's get Mikey on. Let's get Mikey.
You
Mikey Midnight. How's 4th
Yeah.
of July? How's 4th of July?
Hey, Peace. What? As Peace.
Yeah,
Peace.
Peace. Peace
How you
doesn't
doing, Mikey? How you doing, Mikey?
Good. I go get the operation in a couple of weeks, hopefully soon, so I could go to the game with you guys.
I'll probably see you there anyway. So you'll
Yeah.
probably see me. You'll see me with my leather on. Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, me too. I'll wear my jet stuff.
Well, you'll see me in black leather,
Yeah.
blue vest. That's.
Yeah.
Oh shit! You son of a bitch! I just got a little gas. And you're lucky I'm not wearing Hell's Angels because I do know them very personally. So if I were you, back 3 steps off or get rocked.
You going that game against the Dolphins? I might go that game.
You already know the deal, homeboy. See, where I come from the streets. And you know why I come from the streets? Because I was raised tough. You ain't tough. You're weak.
Hey, Max, show Beast how to do a USA chant.
USA! 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 Jake, let me teach you. You know the Yankees are terrible. This is how the Yankees are winning. You have a baseball bat. You throw like this.
Police. You could swing a baseball bat if life.
The Government administration how the Yankees should be hitting. They've been terrible.
When on my final year of baseball, I was hitting 368, and I would kick your ass in a heartbeat. If I had the strength right now, I would knock you right out.
Let's see the evidence of you playing baseball.
My numbers are way more real than you'll ever have, pal. You ain't in my league. You couldn't even lace my boots, carry my bags, or even touch my jockstrap.
Oh man,
all you are is the. Let me say this for your all time sake. You're still a whisker biscuit, bald-headed bitch.
Let's see your Jets points. I want to see your Jets points.
You know what they used to call me in high school? I used to be the cerebral assassin. People used to call me Pitts. That's why I shave my goddamn body here. That's why I shave my pits. That's why I want to stay fresh.
Why did they call you Pitts?
Because I used to stink.
Ladies and gentlemen, that is what we call a show. Sam with the final questions. The meetup game still Tennessee. It is, Sam. Click the link to RSVP to our Barstool Nashville outing. And, of course, get your tailgate tickets for our game day tailgate. GameDayFlightCrew.com to get tailgate tickets. Barstool Nashville, Saturday pre-party, 4 to 7, September 12th, day before the game. Free if you RSVP. Over 200 of you have RSVP'd already. It's pretty awesome. Ladies and gentlemen, that's the show. Thanks to everyone who watched. You guys are the best. We're back this afternoon at 4 p.m. Maybe Beast will give us a USA champ by then. Right, Beast?
By then, I'll have my nose in a book.
You communist.
Rejected. Sorry.
This is America, baby. I'm going to go step all over a Belgian waffle right now to get ready for tonight. Anyway, thanks to everyone who tuned in. Thank you to Frankie V for popping on the show. We will see you this afternoon. Go Jets, everybody.
The New York Jets select David.
Yeah! Yes! Yes, 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 yes. That's my guy. That's why they pay Mougey the big bucks. That's the damn pig. Sorry, I'm going, that's the freaking pig, baby! Finally, the Jets are back. The Jets are back.
Kerry Rose.
The Jets are back.
Oh, hi. Jake wants me to ask you to click on the like button.
That's right, Lane. And if they don't subscribe to the Jake Asman Show, this team may never win another game. Let's go Jets.